What's up, y'all? It's Jenny Wren. If you're new here, welcome. So good to have you. I'm just here to bring you home to yourself. I don't have a lot of time today, so if this video goes over 20 minutes, just know that my pizza is burnt. So let's try to avoid that. Now, I got a message yesterday, but I have to be really hands-on with my son. I had my hands full at the time, so I wasn't able to share it. It's coming back up now. So the message that I got was that the seeking was the illusion. So if you haven't watched my previous video called Jane Doe, please go ahead and watch. I know it's a long one. Grab some snacks, get comfy, and just have a listen because it's something in there for you that is also leading into this message. So I heard loud and clear, the seeking was the illusion. And then immediately I got a picture in my head of someone walking into a very large, expansive room. And in this room was, I guess, what you would see as like a bunch of students. It was desks lined up. They were all lined up in a row. And there were students sitting at the desk and they had books and they were studying. Some were studying, some were doing tests. And everybody just had their head down. Nobody even addressed this person walking in. And the person just walked in, found a desk that was free, sat down. There were like teachers or tutors that were coming around and just kind of looking. Everybody was in silence in their own frame with their head down, just studying. And after a while, this same person just got up and just looked around and just decided to walk out. And as they went to the door, and it's funny because I saw all of this. Usually I just get flashes of things, but I saw all of this. The person started to go towards the door and then felt kind of indifferent because they knew that when they stepped back out, everything that they had learned is going to shift what is on the other side of the doors. And how I kind of took it into perspective was that this room, this person entering into this room with all these other people, having their own, taking their own exams and studying their own courses, and like, that was my depiction of like when people find religion and find spirituality and they kind of hunker down into something, and that becomes like their whole identity and their whole focus. So it was like this person finally, I guess, stepping into the spiritual path and this spiritual awakening and asking the questions and learning all that they can learn and going through all the tests of life to find out that now they've looked up and they've already had the answers, and that this whole, all of the tests and all of the studying, the heavy amount of studying, the narrowing into studying this one thing showed them that they had the answers all along, that they were the answer, that they were the truth, that they held the truth. And now they get to leave learning that they came with what they were looking for, which I thought was just a powerful vision. And it's exactly where I'm at in my life right now, where towards the end of what I was seeing, I really related to this person in the sense of like, I have some type of, my brain, my mind has some type of hesitancy, and it feels very reflective because I feel like I'm standing in front of those doors right now, and it's time for me to walk through the doors and actually start living my life instead of sitting around studying and searching and seeking. That illusion has been lifted. The veil has been lifted after I've felt like I've been through awakening after awakening after awakening, knowing that the seeking is not the truth. I am. And that I am the I am. So I'm at that point where I'm really reflecting on the fact that, like, I know that life is going to be a lot different now. That breakthrough that I was looking for was already inside of me. I just had to see it. And maybe the significance of sharing all of this is maybe because you're in the same place, or I see what I'm getting now is like seeing someone at that desk and they're so close, like they're on the last page of that book, almost realizing that they're about to be shocked with the truth. And the truth being is that they are the truth and the seeking was the illusion, you know? So I want to address both parts of this. If you are someone who's in the same boat as I am, and you're walking up to the doors and you're thinking, wow, how are things going to be really different? I know this, but how are things going to be different? Like, what is going to happen? How do I move from now? Like, I've always had the seeking as the thing to do. I've always had the pattern and the path to follow. I've always had, the book to read. I've always had the crutch. Now I have to walk on my own. Now I have to think for myself. Now I have to change my own life. If you're that person, just know that I understand that it can be very freeing and very clear, but very uncomfortable at the same time. And I also want you to know that you're not alone. I want you to feel seen and understood, because it's not an easy place. Even though you might feel lighter and freer and clearer, just because you feel that way doesn't mean that it's an easy place to be in. So please do know that you are seen and you are understood. I'm right there with you and I'm figuring it out. I can't give you advice because I'm right there figuring out my own advice. When I got it, I'll drop you a video. But for my people who are sitting at that desk, reading the last lines of the last page of the seeking of the truth that you thought was the truth, that the veil is about to be lifted, the energy is changing. Can you feel it? Let me know in the comments if you can feel it. It's kind of like a blanket of comfort. It's very distraughting at first. And this is why you can never force anyone to believe what you believe, and you cannot force people to release the belief that they believe, because what people believe is real and true to them. It is their truth. So you cannot try to adjust that. Only your own. And with given time, you will find it. You will find your truth. But in that space where you're reading those last lines and you're starting to get the whole concept of the fact, like, I feel like I have been it's a hoax. I feel like I've been lied to. What is all of this? I thought I knew the way. If you're still in that space where you're getting there, you're getting to the point of the veil being lifted and it feeling like a shock, I'm here to hold you. I'm holding space for you, my dear, because I understand the shock. I know the shock, and the times feeling really jagged and you feeling so unsure about yourself and so unsure about your faith and asking all the questions and feeling really heavy, Everything is moving and it's a transition to go from one thing to the next. Be kind to yourself. Hold yourself. Don't overload yourself with the thoughts of trying to figure out. Do you know what I'm trying to say? I think that sometimes being in that space of having the veil lifted can feel like you're being thrown into the deep end. And what I'm asking you to do is to relax enough to allow yourself to float naturally, instead of flailing to try to grip onto something to save you. It's about releasing identity. It's about releasing identities and labels and constructs that you felt were your truth and you felt defined you. You are indefinable. I am here for you. And I hope you feel held by me, because that's exactly what I needed when I was kind of going through this. But I also I had maybe like a couple of days where I felt really shitty about it, and I was just questioning everything, like, what am I supposed to believe. But I think that I got over it within those 2 days because I just relaxed and I surrendered and I allowed myself to float and just be. I allowed my body to do what it does best, and it just floated to the top. And now I'm cruising down the river of life. I'm not trying to hold on to any crutch, any identity, any label, anything that's going to carry me and hold me and make me feel like it's a part of something. I'm accepting myself where I am. I'm accepting the truth that I am. And I am accepting the truth of the fact that all of my seeking has been eluding me. It's been eluding me from myself. It's been eluding me from my ability, from my power. It's been eluding me from, even certain relationships and separations. It's been eluding me from my life, waiting for something to happen for me when I was the thing that I was waiting to happen for me. You know what I mean? Y'all, I love you so much. I'm going to leave it here. Oh, I done so well. Oh, 11 minutes. I'm going to go get my pizza and I'm going to scarf it down real quick before I have to go and get my son in about 20 minutes. So yeah, I love y'all so much. I love you. I see you. I feel you. I am you. I'll see you in the next video.